Greeting, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our panel discussion. And today, our topic is about boosting your IELTS exam. So, before starting, I would like to introduce myself. Well, I'm Yang Aimawate, and I'm going to be your moderator for today.
And I am Sundara. I will be your second moderator for today. And we are very excited to be your moderator for today and also you joining us for today's discussion. And before starting our panel discussion, we would like for you to briefly introduce yourself first.
Hi, I am Momban Dali.
Hello everyone, I'm Rachna.
And I'm Konitha.
Good afternoon everyone, I am Angsopasakon Supichoya.
I'm Ratana Ponita.
I'm Hong Mui Hieng.
I am Lee Ting Ting.
I am Chun Whitney.
And today, we are here to explore strategy, tips, and also personal lesson from our panelists today. So, without further ado, let us get started. So, to set the stage, could anyone start us out with a question? How would you define a band 9 in the IELTS exam beyond just the score itself?
So I can answer that. Okay. So thank you for passing me the stage to actually share my knowledge and perspective toward this question. So when we talk about band 9, it is very important to understand that it is just more than a number on your result sheet. While I personally think that band 9 represents the complete command of the English knowledge. While, for instance, you're writing an academic essay with a formal structure, but then you can switch right to a natural, fluent conversation without any hesitation. So at this point, you're very professional and very accurate and also very flexible with what you're using, your tone, your vocabulary, depending on the situation you're in. And moreover, B9 candidates don't rely on memorized answer or flex tablet. Instead, they show a real ability to communicate clearly, logically, and effectively. And I think so the beyond the score itself, band 9 really means that you're using the language, like English language, very fluent and effortlessly. So that is pretty much it, and I hope it answered to your questions.
Okay, thank you, Sue. Well, that's a great perspective, and it's really an eye-opening, helping students understand that a band 9 is more than just a number. It's about mastery. So it's about the art of trying, the art of self-studying. So, do any other panelists want to add on or something? So you can answer.
Well, I like to add on just a bit, just to add up with her answer, because I really do agree that it's just more than the score and the number on your sheet, but a total journey that you learn this different skill on how to master on each part and each category. So it's just more than number and the result, like numbers and like the result beyond your sheet. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So since it looked like Bonita has a deep level of understanding about band in the IELTS exam, so Bonita, many students have misconceptions about achieving a band 9. So what's one common myth that you like to clear up?
Again, thank you for giving me the honor to answer the question. I know that it's gonna be a bit long, but I'll try to sum it up as much as I could. So there isn't just one misconception, but a lot of misconception about achieving a band 9. First misconception of all, which is the root of it, of it all, is that people think that achieving band 9s means having flawless English and like having these imitations of native speaker. But that's not it, because this idea actually discourages candidates to instead feel nervous and not being able to achieve the band 9 instead. And that's not even what the scoring is based on. They look for your ability to understand and use the language flexibly and also have the control of it. So I like to break down on each part of how the misconception happens. Firstly, on speaking. Many candidates think that we have to speak really fast and talk like a native speaker to have specific accent. But actually, examiner look for fluency and also the clarity in your speech, because you don't have to have this specific accent or having this speak really fast, but just know how to answer the question fully and to fully understand what you're totally talking about. And yes, you can make a little bit of mistake, but it must be rare and insignificant, that it doesn't cost anything to the clarity of it. As well as, of course, you can have a little bit pausing, but if you keep your idea flowing logistically, that should be absolutely fine. And then moving on to the writing part, well, people or student or candidate thinks that we have to use really advanced vocabulary and overcomplexing the sentence. But actually, overcomplicating leads to error. So what they look for instead is variety. What I mean by variety is like how you can make the essay so dynamic, and as well as how you have like clear organization of the speech and to fully answer the task. That's really important, because sometimes simple expression often score higher than forced complexity. And then moving on to the reading and listening part, it has really similar misconceptions, so I like to make both in. Is that people think that we have to understand and to know everything, but that you're just wasting your time trying to understand it. What you need to do instead is to grasp onto the important information, the relevant one that should answer the question asked, because that is more effective, and also it reduces the time that you spend trying to understand all of it, right? And that is how you can achieve the actual Band 9 and not just following these misconceptions. So overall, Band 9 isn't about having flawless English, but about being an expert at communication, how you can make it into under your control, how you can master it and use it effectively in each and any circumstances. Thank you.
Well, your answer is like you're speaking from experiences, and it's very detailed and also a lot of information. And I would like to ask, what band do you think you're going to get when you took the IELTS exam?
I think that within really good preparation, I believe and I hope that I could at least achieve like a band 8 or 8.5.
Well,
or
I hope so. I hope you get a 9. Because
yeah, we all hope that.
Well, what about you guys? What do you think you will get in your like result? So please have like an opinion on this. So you can start.
I think I can get maybe around band 6 or 7, but I'm not sure about this well.
Okay, so for me, I think maybe I can get a band 7.
So as for me, based on my current ability and skill now, I think maybe around 7.
I'm not expecting much. I'm just hoping for at least 7.
So I think my skill would get me like a band 8 or 7, but I just hope to get a band 9.
So I don't want to expect high, so I would say band 7.
And for me, my skill, at least I can get 7.
well, I hope everyone gets what they wanted, and for me also, I just wanted to get a high band, like a 7 or 8, based on my current skills. So thank you. And talking about bands, I also have one question: is what the differences between band 8 and band 9 in listening and readings modules? How can you ensure accuracy and also avoid careless mistake? And I would like to pass this question on to Ganita.
Okay, so thank you very much for your question. So basically, the difference between a band 8 and a band 9 is actually very small, because it's like in this situation, it's not about ability, but more like accuracy, because like the band 8 and the band 9 could have the same potential, but the band 8 might lose some marks to like little mistake, like of course spelling mistake or even mishearing words and listening. And meanwhile, a band 9 on the other hand might finish the test like with an almost perfect accuracy or even a perfect one. So can I just like explain it in a simple term? So like we can think of it like playing games. Basically, like you guys finish the same thing, get the same victory, but a band 8 might finish with like a 4 out of 5 star. Meanwhile, a band 9 might finish with a 5 out of 5 stars. So that is the difference. And also, to answer another one of your question is how we can ensure accuracy or avoid careless mistake is, of course, to double check our answer. And that is one thing. Another one that we can look out for, especially in listening, is the distractor in there. And meanwhile, the reading, we also need to look for the similar words. So just overall, to ensure, like, to avoid careless mistake that causes big point, we can just, like, double check our answer and really focus on the test. So, like, that's my tip.
Well, thank you. I hope I also have the time to check the answer again over so that I would get a high grade, or you could say high band. And overall, thank you for your answer. It's very detailed and also a lot of information to take in. I thank you for your answer again.
Okay, so thank you very much, Kanita, for your answer. So moving on to the skills that we have to master in the IELTS exam. So obviously there are like many subjects to master, to improve in your study, and to obviously try to get a good result from it. So the skill includes like vocabulary, grammar, listening, speaking, and also writing. Well, writing is actually the toughest skill for me, actually. So I have a question. So could you share what separates a band 9 essay from one that's just good? And maybe give us like an example or any vocabulary or a structure that elevates writing. So can anyone please elaborate on this?
So I would like to answer that. So at a band 7 or 8, they might consist of like a clear organization or a stronger idea. But a band 9 go a bit further. So the difference between band 7 or 8 and band 9 is that band 9 answer the test directly. So they are likely that every paragraph flow logically and the language is both accurate and academics. So for example, mostly like writer, they write that instead of saying that technology is bad for children but it's also good, you can say something like, while technology is seen as hurting social media or social skill, however, it brings great knowledge to children. So you can say something like that. And the big difference between band 9 and band 8 or 7 at essay or writing skill is because that band 9 writer, they can express their idea in a more smart and accurate ways. So does anyone else want to add?
So like I think I have another thing to add on. So basically like writing, of course, it's not just about that, but we also have to focus a lot on our grammar. Because like grammar is literally the foundations of the writing itself. To have like even start a sentence, you need grammar, and to even think about writing essay, you would need to follow this step. And another thing we have to know is about vocabulary. Of course, we don't have to use fancy words or make it really complex, but we must use a wide range of vocabulary. So like this way, our writing might seem more appealing that way. So basically, to get like a good essay, we have to mix a combinations of these things that mentioned.
Okay, thank you for your answer, you two. So moving on, I also have another question. Is that what's a change that a student can make to make their speaking sound more fluent and also less rehearsed? Like for example, when your teacher or someone else asks you something in a fluent language, you make that you try to make that answer sound like you are speaking from experiences, not just rehearsed from your paper, something like that. So anyone want to answer?
So I would like to answer that. That's a really interesting question. So personally, based on my experience, a simple but powerful change is to start using thinking language. It refers to the natural expression, filler, or phrases we use when we are passing, planning, or organizing our idea while speaking. It makes our answer sound more natural and less rehearsed. For instance, before you respond directly to the question, you can begin with the small phrases like, "That's a good question," or "Let me think about that." This will help to buy you more time and make you sound like you're processing the question, which is natural, not freezing. And if you ever encounter conflict or abstract topic like happiness, globalization, or stereotype, for example, I recommend you to break them down into manageable steps. Basically, you make one clear statement, then explain your reason, and finally support it with the example that could be based on your own story, experience, or your own understanding as well. So, for instance, if the topic is about the importance of art, you can start by simply defining the meaning of art in simple terms, then explain why it matters, and finally, I provide a concrete example. So in this way, even the conflict or topic become clear and well organized. So that is all for my sharings.
So, okay, thank you. So, I will ask, when you're talking to a foreign person, or you could say someone else that from another country, do you use those tips, or you just answer, just like answer what they're, I don't know, you just not answer with those tips, something like that. Anyone can answer. So, like when you're talking to a foreign person, do you use those tips, or you use something else, or you just talk like from your understanding?
So when speaking with foreigner, yes. So I sometimes follow the tip, but mostly I would prefer talking with like my like natural conversation more, because the tip that I share, it's basically about like IELTS speaking. It's for you like to sound more like fluent and natural, but I sometimes use those tips as well.
Okay, thank you. And anyone else want to give their experiences? Okay.
So basically, whenever I have a conversation, I don't care. I just speak with my thinking. If any idea pops up, I just say it. So we don't have to overthink it, and that is how we basically have a normal conversation with each other or any other people at all. So basically, don't overthink it and just make it simple.
You can go first.
Well, I do agree with you, because you don't have to overthink by finding any word to talk with other. You just talk by your understanding.
So, based on my own experience talking to a foreigner, I think it's really interesting to talk to someone from another country. You don't have to overthink what you're gonna say, or should it be professional or not. You're just going to speak out your mind, what you have in your mind, and just speak effortlessly. Just use English effortlessly, and make sure to focus on your grammar. I think it is really important to focus on your grammar as well. So anyone want to add up?
Okay, so firstly, thank you for that last question. It is a very eye-opening question. And also next is also thank you to Muhyang and all of you guys answer. So basically you guys add on your perspective and your own experience when you're doing speaking with foreigners. So well, from me, I actually speak from both my understanding and also from Muhyang's tip. It is actually a great tip for the audience or a beginner. But speaking about another topic is that mostly right now we are speaking about the day of the exam itself. But do you think we should discuss about the day before the exam, the preparation, your study processes? So I think that's a really great topic to move on to. So yeah, I haven't heard from Jaching much, so this will be directly for you. Okay, so can you tell us about your study routine and how many hours per day did you dedicate it to your preparation? So please answer.
Okay, so based on my experience before taking the IELTS test exam, so like I have prepared for about 2 weeks in advance. So in the morning, I spend around 2 hours to practice reading and listening because I feel like in the morning I have full energy, and with those skills, they need concentrate and focus. On the other hand, in the afternoon, I practice in writing part, like to ensure that I know how to structure an essay in the correct way, as well as control my time. And last but not least, in the evening, I dedicate around 30 to 40 minutes for a speaking skill, and sometimes I speak with my friends or using some app. However, sometimes I speak alone with myself, like speaking in front of the mirror and record my voice to ensure my fluency is correct. So although my schedule was busy, but I try to keep it in balance. So overall, I spend around 4 to 5 hours in a day before 2 weeks before taking the IELTS test. So it actually enhanced my confidence as well as well prepared for the exam.
Can I ask you a question? So I really appreciate your answer. So how can you stay motivated? Can you please answer?
At first I feel like it's so complicated, but I just try to do some research, like watch video from YouTube and TikTok, Instagram of someone, like they share their experience how to do IELTS test. And then I start to make my own schedule and try to follow it. And as well as I keep in mind that I want to achieve gold band after taking the IELTS test. So I just like, this is the thing that always keep me to stay motivated.
So talking about tests, it may sound really scary for some people. For me personally, before like a regular test, before, a day or two, when I haven't prepared anything for the test, I feel like I am scared and also nervous because I haven't done anything or prepared for the test. So like when you're nervous, how could you could anyone give me some tip on how could you stay calm during the test?
Well, thank you for your interesting question, and I will love to answer. Exam not just only to test about your knowledge, but it also tests about your nervousness. And also, I have seen most students and teenagers nowadays, when they have the examination, they feel like anxious, nervous, and also worrying. And based on my experience, I also feel worrying when I have the exam. However, I handle my stress and pressure by breaking my study into smaller, like focus section instead of trying to do everything at once. Also, I have a self-study schedule. Like for instance, on Monday I study math for 2 hours, or on Tuesday I study English for 1 hour. And also, I also trying to balance my time wisely, like prioritize the self-care and getting enough sleep, also eat healthy dishes, and also to do physical activity like running or walking around your house. And also, like crucially, finding people to talk with you, like your close friend, teachers, as well as your family about your feeling. And I also want to share the technique is to take a deep breath and meditation. And I would love to share the top tip that to calm yourself on your test day is that to control your mindset and believe on yourself. Like take a slow deep breath and remind yourself that you are deep prepared and try as best as you can. And also trying to do the exercise over and over, and it is time for you to show that your understanding and what you know, and also trust on yourself and trust on the process that you can do it.
Okay, so a lot of those are interesting tips, and I will take it into my account. And for me, I would like to say my technique also is sleeping because it helped me a lot. I don't know, it's when you're nervous or worry a lot, you just sleep and then you woke up, you'll feel relief and also feel like you're not like actually carry the burden of the test. So anyone else would like to add on the tip on how to stay calm during the test?
Okay, me. Well, so my own technique, all I do is that I go on YouTube and like maybe watch like techniques from like a previous like IELTS like examiner. I just watch like maybe 2 or 3 videos and I continue watching other like useless stuff. So honestly, it is not a great advice from me, but yeah, my technique is that I watch videos from other people and also sleeping too. So what about you guys? What other good advice would you like to give to the audiences, like your good technique, not actually like watching YouTube and stuff?
Maybe I would like to say something. So, when you're watching the other taking the IELTS exam, wouldn't that make you more nervous because you're seeing someone else taking an exam and you think that yourself wouldn't be good as them?
Well, for me, I watched them and I actually catch up some vocabulary, so that could actually help me. But yeah, it also helped me like, know what to talk about, how to stay calm. But speaking of that, I also get nervous. So that's why I go watch some other YouTube or some stuff. So what about you guys? What about your technique? I'm sure you have one.
Well, mine has got to be the weirdest one because I'm a really religious person. So you know what I do? I pray, and then like I kind of just imagine it all in my head. Like kind of manifestation. I imagine that I already get it. I already get the result that I want. So I'm like, this is just a step for me to walk as the path that I have imagined. So like kind of say that the saying that's go. Fake it till you make it, right? So I just kind of follow that really closely, and it's kind of like my motto. My motto is like something that I carry with my life lesson or something like that. Yeah, I just pray and then I manifest myself that I already get what I want, so I just make me feel a little bit less nervous and give me this adrenaline, or like it would say like ego to push myself and try harder and try to achieve what I truly desire. Yeah, thank you.
So do any of you guys have other like techniques, or I can continue because speaking about religion, I actually have a question for Whitney. So before we start, do anyone want to give their other techniques, or we can move on?
We can proceed.
Okay, well, that's great. So, Whitney, what's one piece of advice you wish you had known before taking the IELTS exam?
Oh, it's really such an interesting question. Yeah, so for me, a piece of advice I wish I had known before taking the IELTS test is that we all know, or we must know that taking the IELTS test is not just about testing our English level. However, it is about knowing the strategies and as well as the test format as well. For instance, in listening part, or when you miss some question, you don't have time to go back. So it is the best way to do something before listening to the recording, like we must read all the questions and as well as the answer before they play the listening or the recording. And about the and as well as about the reading, we don't have much time to read all the text, so it is the best way for us to do skimming and scanning. And as well as for speaking, I think the speaking part, it is really the difficult part for me because I don't like speaking in public. So I think that in speaking part, you must use variety of vocabulary and as well as the grammar as well. So it is, when we do all these things, it can enhance ourselves, and it can really help us to reach to a higher score or higher band as well. And if you have any idea, you can share. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Does anyone have idea? What about Rajana? No.
So if not, we are going to moving on to our next question. So when you're taking the IELTS exam, and when after you took it, and when someone else asks you how could you do it, or they ask you on how could they achieve the band that they higher than the band 7 or 8. So what tip would you give them? Yeah.
Okay, so if I could only give one tip for anyone who wants to achieve high grade, I would say try to focus on being clear. So many candidates think that they need very big vocabulary or complex grammar in order to achieve good grade. However, that is not what examiner want. What examiner really want is how you can express yourself or your idea in a very natural and accurate way. So clarity means that your answer is easy to follow, your grammar is correct, and your word match the meaning you want to give. So if you are clear, you sound confident. So if you follow this tip, I'm sure you can make you bring yourself closer to band 9. So does anyone else have any idea?
Well, for me, I would love to share the tip is to self-study, because self-study you can spend a lot of time on social media, researching or discovering new things and asking other people too.
So overall, to wrap up everything you say, you're saying that when you try to speak to them, you just give an answer that is simple and not too complex with words, and with correct grammar and also correct wording, you could achieve higher bands. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, yeah. So I would like to add more from my previous speech. So yeah, overall, the one tip is just be yourself. Try not to stress yourself out, and just try not to impress the examiner. It's just communicate, you communicate to your friends or family or whatever. So that's how you can achieve good grade.
So okay, thank you so much for your answer, and it is very simple yet also very detailed and a lot of information. Thank you.
Okay, so finally, looking back to our discussion, we've discussed about the day, the preparation before the IELTS exam, and we also discussed about during the exam, tips on how to achieve an effective scores on your IELTS exam. So what about after your result, your IELTS exam? So I have one last question. What's the most valuable lesson you've learned from your IELTS journey? So anyone would like to share yours? Okay.
Again, it's an honor to end this, and with the last question of the panel discussion today. It's really meaningful. But so yes, to answer your question, I think that I've learned a few valuable lessons throughout my journey through this IELTS test, right? So firstly is self-improvement. Of course, the more that we learn, the more that we self-study, as she mentioned, we can explore new things and so learn so many more about different perspective and broaden your horizon. So that is really how you can improve yourself, and as well as I did take that tips. So I believe that I think I improved myself a lot with many category and try to focus on the weaknesses that I want to strengthen a bit. For example, in listening part, I have tried my best to improve it, and I think that I've achieved great results as well. And another thing is adaptability and time management. So what is the adaptability that I mentioned? Is the adaptability of the format of the test. I'm pretty sure that before this test, we are not really familiar with this kind of format, right? But as we take a step closer and closer every day, trying to learn and trying to master on each category, I think that we adapt ourselves with this kind of format, with this kind of standardized test. And we feel familiar now that, after a lot of practice on paper with friends and teacher, we know how to actually do it correctly, and how they want us to do it, right? And also with time management as well. Yes, with adaptability, you feel familiar to each task, and also that means the time as well, on how much you're supposed to spend on each category and each part. Before, I think that I waste a lot of time on specific part and then just leave completely out of and the other I leave out completely, or maybe that I didn't actually complete all the part correctly as I wanted to be. So I think that after practicing and after walking through this journey little by little, I have improved my time management skills a lot. And we can't forget the memory that we made, the stress that we feel, and also the mistake that we've made with our friends and teachers as well. It was really valuable for me. Does anyone else say? Yes.
So you talk about time management, and I think you could use that tip to yourself when it comes to speaking, because we don't have to talk so much. We just have to go straight to the point. So that is just what I see from you.
That felt like an insult.
Can I ask you a question? So I think you are good at speaking, right? So can you share me the tips how to good at speaking? Because I am bad at speaking, yes.
Well, after taking her advice into consideration, I'm gonna keep this short, right? I don't think that anyone is that bad of a speaker. I think that we're just at specific level that needs a little bit more improvement and a little bit of pushing, right? So the thing that you should or you can do is that to clearly understand the format of each section of what kind of question they're going to ask, short or long question. So take that into consideration, and as the saying goes, practice make perfect. So you can use that tips to practice every day, even if it's speaking alone in front of the mirror. And I think that's really how you can improve your speaking. Thank you.
Okay, so anyone else would like to add? Okay, so if not, then we're wrapping up this conversation, or you could say this discussion. So after all that, we have learned a lot of things from our conversation, like the information on taking the IELTS test, and also your journey, what we have learned so far on your journey. And that is the end of our panel discussion, and I would like to say thank you for joining us today. We are glad to be your moderator for today, and also we are very excited to work with you together in the future also. And that is it. Thank you so much.